Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of News in Motion. Today is Wednesday, April the 10th, 2024. If you are tuning in live with us at 7:25 a.m., we just want to say good morning to you. But if you are catching the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or in the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting News in Motion. If this is your first time tuning in to News in Motion, you probably ask yourself, what in the world is News in Motion and where can I find it? Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm going to give you that information right now. News in Motion is a news media outlet with relevant commentary and call to action. And we also talk about voter registrations and just what's going on in the world with headline news and presses from the White House. We can be found on YouTube, LinkedIn, or any audio or podcast platforms. And we are live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with today being What to Know Wednesday. So we have a presentation, a PowerPoint for you. Make sure that you invite a few friends. Grab your paper, grab your pen, grab your coffee, grab your Danish, grab whatever you need to stay alert and stay awake for this informative information of News in Motion that you are going to see here today. I see you, Miss Shirley Nicholson, tuning in through YouTube. Good morning to you, Miss Adrian. Good morning, Miss Regina. Good morning, Miss Marion. Good morning, Auntie Kim. Good morning to my mom, Miss Latrice Jones. How everyone doing today on this hump day, the middle of the week? It is Wednesday, What to Know Wednesday. Be sure that we are also engaging in the comments. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Do not hesitate to ask any questions that you may have on What to Know Wednesday. But without further delay, y'all know what we do over here. Let's get ready for some News in Motion.
News in Motion.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to just confess something. I could not sleep last night, excited about this What to Know Wednesday session. I couldn't sleep. So there's that transparent moment. Wanted to share all that with you. But good morning to all of you. Good morning, good morning. I see you, Deborah Johnson, rolling up in here as well. Good morning. Listen, if you know anyone who's on the fence about registering to vote, who's on the fence about voting, who just they're not sure what to do or what it is all about, please send them a text message real quick. Send them the link, the youtube.com/Gail Dudley. Tell them to come on in here. I'm going to hit a few headline news, and then we're going to dig deep, and I'm not rushing. It's one of those days I am not rushing. Good to see you, Judy Neal, and see you, Sardinia. Okay, first up, when the segment was over yesterday, we have to go through and edit the video and post it up and put all the different comments and things, the description on YouTube. So it takes a little while. So that takes us to about maybe 8:40 or whatever. And then I kind of start my other day where I'm going through emails and things like that. And I open up my email and I see Ingram. And then I see the subject line. And then your girl just broke down crying. So put that up there, Isaiah, if you can. Y'all listen, Ingram, I am considered the accounts, meaning Ingram's the print publication bestsellers list for March 2024. Y'all, thank you for everyone who purchased books. I see people are still purchasing them. Please, please, please. I know of mother and daughters who are reading these together. One of our team members is sitting down every morning with her 13-year-old daughter going through the book, and I'm so happy about that. And so the young lady, thank you, Isaiah, the young lady asked me if I would, her daughter has is going into the Honor Roll Society and asked me if I would be one of the people who will write a letter for her. So y'all have no idea how that has touched me. Listen, I'm going to get to this in a few moments towards the end of the segment today when I get to the inspirational message. But I'm going to tell you now as well, stay the course. It has been many years, 15 books later, that I ever hit a list. Okay. So 15 books later, stay the course. And I don't really want to flip and put the inspirational message up in the beginning, but I just want to share with you all. There are times you may think something's going to happen overnight, and it does happen for some people, but for the most of us, it takes time. It takes days that we are upset, we're frustrated, we're angry, we want to throw in the towel, we want to quit, we want to walk away. And all I'm saying to you is don't do it. Please, please, please stay the course. So that was for March. I'm so excited about it. It's just like, wow, what does this feel like? What was happening here? And it's not the New York Times, but that's okay. It is Ingram's, and Ingram is where all the books are printed. So to be on that bestsellers list, y'all, it took years. Again, 15 books later, and people are picking up this book from all over because they showed me a map, and I'm talking Africa, South Africa, Zimbabwe, which I know I spoke there, Germany, which I know I spoke there, even in Israel, y'all know I spoke there as well, but just many places. And I'm looking at this, Canada, I'm just like, wow. Mexico. I'm like, really? So I'm just so excited, but I really owe you all the thanks. Again, I wanted to make some changes to the invitation yesterday, so it did not go out, but don't forget, May the 4th, 1 to 3 at Kennedy Cakes, and that's Kakes in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to have a great time with mimosas and some sweets, and our very own, and I see her up here on the ticker now, our very own Davia Williams Stevenson. I just was immediately, when I was speaking with my daughter, I said, it has to be Davia. It has to be Davia who will do the interview. So that's coming. So just come out if y'all can that day. There's space for only so many people. So the reservation is going to be free, but we need to have reservations so we can keep a count, and it's going to be first come, first serve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you. And also, y'all, if you have the book, and now I understand why they were asking me for some reviews. If you have the book, whether you've read a page, a paragraph, 9 devotions, or all 150 that somebody has done already, please, please, please go to Amazon.com, find the book, scroll down, and leave a review. It can be one sentence. Leave a review. It makes a difference. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all, let's get in here. Because we got a lot to cover. All right, y'all. Attorney General Andrew Bailey out of Missouri. I'm going to just read y'all his breaking news that he put out here. He says, I am leading a 7-state coalition in filing suit against the Biden administration's largest illegal student loan plan. What? So, like what happened last year, they're running to the Supreme Court. They are filing a lawsuit to stop this student loan piece. He says Congress never gave Joe Biden the authority to saddle working Americans with $500 billion in other people's debt. Well, he got slammed on X, formerly known as Twitter. People were coming out, and I went to fact check this, and it is true. They were like, this one guy, Billy Jones, said, but, you never paid back your $2 million PPP loan. How many billions did that cost us? And people were coming at him, and he never paid it back. He got it forgiven. And so they're like, how can you talk about other people? If you have this kind of money, why aren't you paying your loan back? So that is happening, y'all. Also, Arizona can enforce an 1864 law criminalizing nearly all abortions. That is happening. We're going to really get into that today, and I'll dig into it and get all the pieces and facts and put it out there. But y'all, this is what's happening. Y'all, this election is more important than the 2020 election. Can y'all believe it? Yeah. The parents of the convicted Oxford high school shooter were both sentenced yesterday to 10 to 15 years in state prison for their roles in failing to prevent their son from opening fire at his Michigan school in November 2021. So, y'all, there's a lot that is unfolding. I hope you all pay attention. Also, you're going to see this trickle into the United States. The European Court of Human Rights ruled yesterday that countries have an obligation to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to protect people from the effects of climate change. Y'all think I can talk today, right? Marking the first successful international court ruling on climate change. So see what's happening here. You already have it right here. And listen, I love my men. I do. I love, especially my Black men. I do. But there was just something about this announcement yesterday that had me on 100. And that is, y'all, the NCAA men's basketball championship game brings in nearly 15 million viewers, a 4% increase from last year. But, behind the nearly 19 million who viewed Sunday's women's championship game, people were saying they forgot that the men's basketball championship was even happening on Monday night. And they were wondering, like, why couldn't they have put this on Sunday, like afterwards or something like that? So there's a lot going on there. Also, they're finding that the women, remember, was it like 2 years ago? The women in their practice and things, they didn't have the equipment and so forth, but the men did. Well, kind of like flip this year. So all of that's coming through as well. So congratulations again to University of South Carolina being the champions in the women's NCAA, and to Coach Don Staley, uncommon favor. You know, all the preachers are going to preach that Sunday. Y'all know that, right? All the Black preachers, let me say that. What's up, Dr. Antoinette? Y'all, TechCrunch reports Google Cloud announces new custom-built processor as part of efforts to meet rising AI demand. Says chip is 30% more efficient than comparable products from Amazon Web Services and Microsoft. And don't forget, y'all, Target is going after Amazon with Target Circle. Is that what it's called? And they say that they're going to get your products to your home before Amazon can get your products to your home. So a lot of this is happening. I'm like, how is this going? Are you going to just send drones and drop stuff on my line? Like, what's really about to happen? I love me some Target. I am so with Amazon. I don't know what that is. I have always been so with Amazon. All right, y'all. This is today. This is Wednesday. What to Know Wednesday, Workshop Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to give you some brief headline news. If y'all have any thoughts on that, let me know now before I get into this presentation, because I am absolutely excited. I told you I couldn't sleep last night. It's like, I can't wait to deliver this presentation tomorrow morning for News in Motion. I just kept waking up like almost every 20 minutes. Like, is it time yet? Although I had my alarm set. But y'all, that's what happens too. Do y'all notice when I take a break, I come back like on fire because I'm that excited. So breaks are important. So let's get to it, y'all. The top 5 issues for Gen Z voters in 2024: cost of living. 53% of those who were surveyed said cost of living is number one. Jobs, 28% are talking about jobs out of that population. 26% are saying gun violence, 26% climate change, and 19% abortion access. So a lot of that is coming out. We got to talk about it. We got to see what's happening there. But we want to get to the presentation this morning. And I'm just going to try to see if there's anything else. Y'all, Isaiah's on it. Like, boom. Did she say presentation? Let me put that up. Well, y'all, let's get into this. Because, and if I can just find it on my notes, we'll be so much further along, and I found it. All right, y'all, because plan your vote. You may say, girl, you too early. No, I'm not. Because a lot is happening, a lot is changing, and you're going to have to stay up on what's happening and how do we get there, okay? So when we're talking about planning your vote, here's what's included in today's presentation. Again, I'm going to take my time, so if y'all got to go, y'all can come back and check the replay out later. But planning your strategic vote, how we're going to do that, how to find ballot issues, we're going to talk about how to do that, how to vet sources. I think there was somebody who asked me about this a few weeks ago. So here's your opportunity to key in on that. Financial resources, volunteer opportunities, and online resources. So we're going to get into all of that this morning. I think we have a high school, I think it's Belvedere High School. I don't know the location. Their seniors are in here somewhere. They're doing it in their classroom. So welcome to all of you this morning. That's just a little bit about me, because this is what I thought, y'all. Well, if I'm getting ready to deliver this and I'm this excited about it, I need to prepare the entire presentation to take it on the road for whenever anybody asks me to. So I just thought I'd go ahead and put that in there as well. All right, so this is what we do here at News in Motion. The red piece there is just our mission, but we're aggregated media news platform dedicated to fostering citizen engagement in civic life. Well, y'all might say, what is all that? That sounds good. We're here pretty much to empower you, okay? We're here to give you all the facts, all the information, to get to the public what's needed, what so many people are not talking about. We're so big on delivering the news, but people aren't taking the time to walk others through the news so they can get a better understanding. So voter education, voter participation, and voter empowerment. So the voter education piece is like, here's where you can get information, education. This is what the filibuster means. This Congress is holds the power of the purse, really breaking it down so that people can understand. Now, I don't know what happened to the school systems, but I really learned all this in high school, but I'm hearing that they're not getting this. So here's an opportunity. So many people I come in contact with, including my own family members, my younger family members are like, hey, what's this? So even when, like I was telling y'all that, I'm the party house and all that stuff, they'll also say, y'all better make sure y'all register to vote before y'all go to Aunt Gail's house. And that will be the truth. That's the truth. Serve as a catalyst for action, all with an uplifting message. And then we call people to action. We encourage others to contribute for positive change. So that's that. All right, so planning your strategic vote. That first piece there, your name, your address, your district, your polling location. I'm asking all of you to prepare now to know that you know your name, you know your address, but what district are you in? I am shocked by how many people have no clue their district. And it's like, you don't know that? So you're paying taxes in the place you don't know the district you're in. You're in, like, people who tell me they don't attend their HOA meetings. They like throw away their HOA letters. I'm like, what? We got an HOA letter the other day and I actually had an attitude behind it. Because y'all know how now it's time to cut your grass and all that stuff. Well, on the bottom of our mailbox, where they're like edging up, it gets beat up at the bottom. You don't see it. You don't. We got a letter saying we were out evaluating our mailboxes, and your mailbox is right now is in an infraction. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So they told us where to go. So we got to go to Home Depot, and we have to get the little cover or whatever to put on the bottom. But then we have to paint it brown because all mailboxes have to be brown on our street. But even that, this getting the understanding of where you are, what you do, how you live, how it's connected, getting that understanding is key. So y'all know your district and know your polling location. That's why I'm always stressing, and it's that time now. Y'all, every month you should be checking your voter registration from now till September. September should be every week. Just checking your status to make sure where you are, make sure everything's good, make sure your address is up to date, all of that information. Y'all, you have to start planning your vote now. So who are your current representatives? For example, your senator, your state rep, your school board people, do you know who they are? Okay? State, local, attorney general, secretary of state, governor, lieutenant governor. You'd be amazed how many people have no idea who their lieutenant governor is. Like, they have no clue. None. County treasurer, county sheriff, judges, etc. Know these people. Know them. I'm a notebook queen, although we're in the digital age. I have a notebook with all that information in it. Yep, I sure do. And it's right there at my fingertip. I can go through. It's just like we used to have the old telephone books. Y'all remember that? Okay, maybe I'm dating myself. But you open that up, you go through it. I have tabs, everything. I have numbers, emails, everything right there. Yes, I can look it up on my phone, but sometimes I'm just like, let me pull this out, get this. Actually, that's kind of faster for me than anything else. But y'all, you have to know who these individuals are. Y'all, all 435 seats are up in the House. Did you know that? Did you know that? And even understanding the election cycle and what that looks like, y'all, is so key. Affiliation. All right, planning your strategic vote. Who are you affiliated with? Good morning, Jeffrey Payne. It was so good to see you last week. Member of the Independent Party. Are you a member of the DNC? Are you a member of the RNC? Are you a member of the Green Party? Do you have no affiliation? What's your affiliation? How you get there is to begin to know. Kim Edmondson said, I didn't know that. You didn't know what, girl? Tell me what you're talking about. And Dr. Internet said, the builder rep who works with our HOA is about to be sick of me because I'm talking to my county rep. And I am asking them hard questions about some foolishness. And you have to ask the hard questions, y'all. Don't back away from things like this. We're paying taxes. Hello. We're paying our mortgage. Hello, which I'm going to get to the school board piece in a minute. You have to have an understanding of what's going on. Y'all, time out for lollygagging around because there's all types of shenanigans that are happening and taking place right now. We have to be in the forefront of these things and ask those tough questions. Yeah, girl, every seat. That's why they're out here like, hey, vote for me. Some of them are kind of like a shoe-in. Okay, but many of them are not. Because most people don't even know that. All right, y'all, member of the Independent Party. Let me just talk about this. When we're talking about party affiliation, y'all know about the party. So you got to go do your research on the party. You can go to ballotpedia.org to find out everything you need to know. Member of the DNC. Well, who is the DNC? Some people, and I shouldn't laugh. Somebody said, well, what does that mean? What does the DNC mean? What does the RNC mean? And at first I have to check my face because everything comes up on my face quickly. So I had to check my face oh, okay, hold up. Wait a minute. And I'm like, that's the Democratic National Committee or Convention. RNC is the Republican National Committee or Convention. It depends on, I'm using both C's because people interchange them quite often. And then they're like, what's the Green Party? Well, a lot of people have no idea about the Green Party. So you have to find out, where do you align best? And that's the one. But hear me, in many states, if you decide to become an independent, during the primaries in many states, you cannot vote. So if you're always wanting to exercise your right to vote, then you have to really decide on one of the two main parties. And that's another can of worms that we can talk about. And some people are trying to change that, which I understand that. You should be able to vote at any point in time. Can you switch parties? You absolutely can. You absolutely can. I didn't do it this year, but back in 2020, I did go in and ask for the other ballot because I was sending a message. And so many people did that. And people are even doing that this year during the primaries as well, because you can always switch back. It's not a big deal. So utilize Ballotpedia, as I just talked about. Ballotpedia is a digital encyclopedia of American politics, y'all, and the nation's premier resource for unbiased information on election politics and policies. Some people are wondering, is their website safe? Yes, it is safe. It is a very quick process. You can even pull up a sample ballot even now. You can pull up a sample ballot. And the reason I say even now is great to pull it up if you have no idea. It's great to pull it up if you're looking for your district. Hello. It's great to pull it up to find out all the information that you are looking for, and you can start doing your research on the individual people. You can start there. And then there's people that you can trust. Y'all, it is truly nonpartisan. You can go there, look at their board, pull them up. You can see just people of all different types of backgrounds are there. So y'all, do your research. Here is a piece that's right there. Adrian says Ballotpedia is top notch. It is indeed top notch. It is indeed top notch. So you want to check it out. All the information's there. Whatever's happening, all ballot issues are there. Anything you need to know, you put in your zip code and it pops up. It's right there for you to have at your fingertips. All right, make your list, y'all. Make your list. I have personal questions and I have general questions. So personal questions, some that you may ask, and then you build your own list. You build your own questions that you have. But what are my thoughts of the filibuster? Hello? I'm sure I'm gonna get an email. What is a filibuster? Look it up. Y'all know what I say. Do your own research. Look it up, y'all. That's important, and it's getting ready to come into play as we're going into the end of this administration. Is you're going to start seeing it pop up. So put it in. Have an idea of what's happening. Which platform am I drawn to, and why? Why do I align best with independent or the Green Party or the RNC or the DNC? Where do I align? Or my no labels? Where do I align and why? What's the best fit for me? Now, let me say this, and I probably get pushed back, and that's okay. Don't be a single issue person. Now, there's been times that I've been a single issue person, but for just one point in time, like this past August, I was a single issue person in Ohio. But y'all, you have to look beyond the single issue when you're trying to decide what's who and what's my affiliation and why. Medicare and Medicaid thoughts. Even if you're young, even if you're at 18 to 21, you cannot just ignore that. And it is false that it only applies to seniors. Okay, it's about disability, it's about socioeconomic status. There's so many factors to Medicare and Medicaid health. There's so much there you have to unpack. Who can apply and receive Medicaid? Who can apply and receive Medicare? This is a part of voting. So when something happens in your life, a life situation, and you need to draw from that or you need to turn to that, and all of a sudden it's not there for you, it's because people didn't vote for it. Okay, and understand what you're voting for and why. Don't just take somebody's word for it. Do your research. How do I feel about the student loan debt relief? Now, the fact that the person I shared with y'all earlier is out here already going to 7 states to have a lawsuit against the Biden administration, and he and his cronies have 2 million plus PPP loans that they never had to pay back. Hello. Those are the questions we need to be raising and asking. What are my thoughts of the border? What do I know about voting rights and where do I stand with voting rights? How do I feel about the abortion bans in the United States? Is this a state issue? Is it a federal issue? And that's whether you're on one side or the other side. Don't just pick a side and say, this is where I'm standing. Know why you're standing where you're standing. And do you have, is it a gray area or is it black and white for you? Do you have an understanding? Do you know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen? You have to understand what it is that you are supporting and why you are supporting it. And don't just make it a single issue, y'all, because things will set a precedent. We talk about this here on News in Motion all the time. It will set something and then it will trickle out the to other places. And then you find out, well, I didn't really want that to happen. Well, that's what you voted for because you just heard the rhetoric from people and not have a clear understanding as to why. Adrian says the filibuster needs to be canceled permanently. Listen. It's about to come into play. And we don't even know when it comes to the House what's about to happen because Marjorie Taylor Greene she has had it with the new speaker, Mike Johnson. So she has filed something already. They're starting to have conversations. And if one person brings it up, that person can be ejected from the seat. We saw that earlier this year. So keep paying attention. Keep paying attention. Keep paying attention. Marian says abortion rights is not just about abortion. It's about women's rights. And they're lumping that all together. So you have to have an understanding. So if you have daughters, nieces, female friends, you have to understand what's happening. And when they're now talking about targeting, and you have to read this for yourself, and we may try to find someone to join us to share. The reason why some people are unable to join us is because their jobs are in jeopardy if they join us. So we're trying to find a fine line so we learn as much as we can from people so that we can share it. Because people in high places, sometimes they can't get onto shows and make a statement because their jobs are on the line. So I'm slow walking, so I'm trying to remember not to mention this person's name. But contraception any type of surgery, anything that's happening with women's bodies, you have to think about long term and not just short term. And then, of course, those of us who are believers, we believe a certain way, we think a certain way. And I, even in conversations, I've been trying to expand my mind some to get a better understanding, to understand what's happening with people and around people. Y'all, we have to also give grace. We also have to give grace to have an understanding there. That's a conversation all by itself. And then in addition to that, women's bodies as a whole. Y'all, that's on the ballot. That's on the ballot. Whether you want to believe it or not, look what just happened. Okay. That's on the ballot. Y'all, from 1864, and talking about it being criminal. Yo, you have to pay attention to the rhetoric, to the words, and how these things are fleshing out. Do I understand the tax bracket? Many people, believe it or not, have no idea of the tax bracket. All they know is that they pay taxes. That's all they know. And we need to start really digging deep when it comes to the tax brackets and what's happening there, and what issues should I be concerned with? What issues? And then general questions. What issues will be on the ballot? Do I understand the issue? Will the issues on the ballot raise my property taxes? So let's talk about the school board, school zones, school tax levies, and so forth, because that's happening everywhere. So they're getting these on the ballot, and people are just like, nope, just vote no. Well, really? Because that could also come back to your property. That could also come back to your subdivision. That could also come back to your zip code, and things change. So yeah, you have to dig deep and get an understanding. So for example, I'm in the Olentangy school district in Central Ohio, and it was just on the ballot. And when that came out, I read everything. I read their budget. I looked at where money was going. I looked at scholarships. I looked at property. I looked at the prices of homes. I was looking at everything so I could get a better understanding. That's what I mean by doing your research. It just can't be somebody coming to your door, giving you a pamphlet, saying something. It's about our due diligence to dig deeper and to get a better understanding of what's really happening. And then what are the current bills, legislation being discussed or up for vote in my state? You have to have an understanding of what's on the ballot. And does no mean no? And yes mean yes? There's a lot of trickery out here. You have to have an understanding. So look at everything. You got to look at Congress. You got to look at the news. You got to look at the convictions of people. Hello, somebody. Socialist, Republican, liberal, Democrat. Do you have an understanding of what that is? My official vote by mail. What does that look like? Can I vote by mail? Are there any stipulations with my voting by mail? And the overall politics that are being played every day. Plan your vote, people. Vetting sources. I know Isaiah may have to leave me. Hopefully he can hang out with me as long as he can. But vetting sources, y'all, fact check everything. Do a quick Google search. See what's out there. Now, today, there's a little bit more to that than just doing a quick Google search, because you also have to think about AI. How is AI sending out misinformation and disinformation is key. So do a Google search on that. Look for a number of people reporting on an issue. And if you do not know the name of the organization or somebody, go look and make sure they are not satire. That means they're like making jokes or whatever, like Comedy News Network. Although they make jokes, lately they've been on point with everything. So you have to kind of navigate through all that. Look for reporting and journalistic standards, like with News in Motion. We put out there with every time we say that we're going on the air, we put it out there the week before. We have our whole mission and everything underneath that if you hit the description. So you want to look for that, see what they're doing. Check for transparency, their credibility, the quality of news reporters, the journalists, the producers, and the sources should be very transparent, and we're always transparent here. Examine how incorrect or inaccurate reporting statements and articles are handled. Y'all know right here, if we mess up, I'm like, oh, by the way, we said this the other day, not true. Our apologies. Here's a correction. We're citing that correction. Same thing. We also cite everywhere where we get the information. When I tell you I'm getting something from the White House, I'm in fact getting something from the White House. And we pull it up and we talk about it. We say where it's coming from, how many people are looking at it. That's the kind of information you need. Hey, Crystal, and this is for you. You're asking about vetting sources. You want to assess multiple news coverage. Y'all stop watching one. Okay, just stop. Find one or two or three that you trust. So you may have one that you view, you may have one that you read, you may one that you have conversation with. Find the people who are going to support what it is, their platform. When I say support, supporting their platform, and you have those trusted resources. So multiple news coverage, y'all, not just one. We all love MSNBC, or we all love Fox News, or we all love CNN. Okay, but find somebody else you're watching. BBC, PBS. There's a lot of great digital news places now because we're not confined. We don't have to follow certain rules. Now, we still have to cite our sources, of course, and we still have to give credit where credit is due. But at the same time, we don't have somebody saying, well, you can't say that, you can't say it like this, you can't look this way, you can't look that way. So there's a lot of people from some high-level news organizations who are now doing digital news. One that Jessica Yellen, News Not Noise on Instagram, amazing. You have Chris Cuomo, who's now on News Nation. He came from CNN, and his show on News Nation is far better than the one he used to do on CNN. So you want to check those things out. You want to vet these sources. I don't know how many slides I have left. Financial resources. Let's talk about that. You want to ask questions about financial resources before you get there. Like if you want to give money, like how will this money be spent? What's being spent on political ads? How will my candidate combat food insecurity? That's my question all the time. Are you going to give any of this money to food insecurity? Yes, Jeff Payne. PBS is excellent. So here's just some numbers I pulled up for you. 2020 ads. These are presidential ads. 8.5 billion. That's what it'd be. That's a whole lot of money, y'all. 2018 ads for presidential election, 6.7, not presidential election. This was the House and Senate, $6.7 billion. Congress so far from 2022 to now, 663 million. That's a whole lot of money. And we still have people who are homeless. We still are dealing with the student debt relief. We still have people who are facing food insecurity. We still have people who are not even making minimum wage. Hello? So you want to look at these. These are the kind of questions you want to ask. Believe it or not, all of this comes under planning your vote. All right, volunteer opportunities, power the polls, y'all. I don't know if Isaiah can pop that up there or not, but they're still looking for workers for November. Y'all, 67% is what they're lacking. They need 67% people needed as election workers all around the U.S. 67%. Let that sink in. 67%. That's what they need. 67%. You can go to powerthepolls.org/news in motion and start your training. There's an opportunity for you to start your training. Volunteer opportunities. There are volunteer opportunities for people to send out postcards. Again, you got to start with your affiliation. Who are you affiliated with? What are you going to run on? What does that look like? So you want to pop that up there and put that out there, okay? Prepare, and we're rounding it here. Prepare, review your voting records and status. You can do that. It's at your fingertips. It belongs to you. Update address and etc. Current ID to vote. Do you have your current ID? Marriage license. Are you going to get married July, August, September, October? Believe me, you're going to have to take that with you because it's got to align with what's in the system. And once you do that, make sure you switch it over. Contact your Secretary of State and connect it up. Don't think all of a sudden just because you wouldn't have filed a marriage license that the information transfers over to that department. No, you better go do that. Any other kind of documents, y'all have that information, That's why I say to you, check your voting registration all the time. Check it. It takes less than a minute to check it. It takes less. All right, here's your online resources. News in Motion on YouTube. Whoop, whoop. The Friday Rundown, www.gaildudley.com. It is free. For those of you who received that, go ahead and put in the chat what you think of the Friday Rundown. You have ballotpedia.org. You have the Lincoln Project US. You have the Democrats.org, GOP.com. We also added the Project2025.org. That's a conservative project. You want to read it. And then you have vote.gov. We have many, many others, but we wanted to share those with you. All right, y'all. We want everyone with News in Motion to help us out. September the 17th is the National Voter Registration Day. The website is there, but we're going to give you more information. But y'all, we want to be in our News in Motion t-shirts, the vote t-shirts, and we want to go out here. We don't need to knock on doors. We know that's not safe today. But no matter where you are in the country, if you can get a small group on that day, maybe you're at a church parking lot, or maybe you're at the mall, or maybe you're at a restaurant, you got to get permission first, where you're just making sure people are registered to vote. You may be outside in the Target parking lot, and there's a lot of companies that are allowing people to come on site. You just can't harass people. You can't be, you got to be like the Girl Scout cookie people, although sometimes I think they harass people too. But we're going to do this. We're going to put this together. We are now currently looking for captains for your city, your state, your township, whatnot. So if you're interested in doing, we just want to have fun. Maybe we can have a DJ out there. We're just checking on some things. I'm working with that organization. We have become a partner with them so that we can see how we can make this happen. So we're really excited about that. And then, y'all, here's just a note for me. Register to vote or check your voter registration. You can go to iwillvote.com to do that as well. But, y'all, we're in this together, and we have to do some serious work. And then thank you. So, again, you need somebody to come and flesh this out more. I did this in 20 minutes. This really takes about 2 hours, so we can dig into it and break it all down. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today on this. So let me go back to the inspirational message. If there's no questions, let me go back to the inspirational message. The inspirational message today is stay the course. Stay the course. I shared with you, it took 15 books to become a best-selling author. And I learned of that yesterday. It took 15 books. Stay the course. What if I quit after book 2 or 1 or 5 or 10 or 14? What if I said, forget it? No, I stayed the course. And here's the thing. I never aspired to be the best-selling author. Never, ever, ever. So imagine my surprise when I get that email. It's like, wow, this just happened. Stay the course. Whatever business you're working on, stay the course. You're wanting to go from $100 to $100,000 in 30 days. Really, that doesn't happen. Okay, it does not happen. Stay the course. Stop allowing people who do not support you stop you from doing the work that you've been called to do. Stay the course. Stay the course when it comes to praying. Yeah, I'm going all the way there, y'all. Sometimes we want to throw out a prayer to God and say, okay, God, can you bless this? Can you speak to me? Can you do that? And the next day we're like, well, God didn't answer that, so I guess that's not for me. He doesn't work like that. Okay, it doesn't work like that at all. Pray, have faith as small as a mustard seed. Pray and have faith. Or you're reading the Bible and you're like, I don't understand this. I don't know these names. I cannot pronounce these names. I'm going to just jump over it. No, have discipline and patience and say, okay, let me sound this out. All right, let me turn on the audio on the computer. Y'all, everything's right there at your fingertips today. Let me do some research on this person. For example, Hannah in the Bible. One of the passages of scripture I love to preach out of 1 Samuel chapter 1, where Hannah stood up. I think I told you about that sermon. When I was in Israel, and we were in Shiloh, us Westerners call it Shiloh. The proper word is Shiloh. We will change something in a minute here in the West. And I was there, and I was able to talk to the rabbi, and we went to what have believed to have been the place where she went to the doorstop of the priest who was sitting outside of the temple. And just to be able to visualize all of that and to think about all of that. And I thought, wow, if I would not have continued to study about Hannah, I would not even have thought to go where she stood or where they believe she stood to have this conversation, how all of that came alive. But we want to quickly read a chapter and say, oh, done, read a chapter. But do you understand that chapter? Do you see your life in the chapter? Do you have life application of that chapter? Do you see what's happening? How many of us, let's go to 1 Kings. Kings, Second Kings, one of the Kings. Let's go to that where the woman and Elijah, and she's trying, like, I have nothing in my home. Can you visualize the home? How many times have you said, I have no food in my refrigerator? Some of us may not at times, but other times there's enough in there to do something. You can have maybe a piece of butter toast or butter bread or something like that. I see you, Dr. Bryce. Good morning to you. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You have an event on the 15th. Would love to share information for the registration kickoff. How can I get informed so I can share? Absolutely. I'll email you today. I got your email. I emailed you today, so look for your email. Thank you for that. That would be perfect. But listen, y'all, we cannot just say, this isn't working for me, so I'm going to get off the course. Really? If you have truly been in a place of prayer, been in your closet time, waiting for God to speak to you, and you know it's from him. You know it's from him. Y'all do know it doesn't happen overnight. Now, sometimes it may. Sometimes it may, but you have to stay the course. It's funny that this person just popped on here. But let me share this with you. I was with a friend of mine while I was on break. I was with a friend of mine. We went to North Star Cafe. We, together, we shouldn't probably be in places together, but we had a great time. But this particular person, I had been wanting to see something of hers. That she had been diligently, when I heard her story later, she had been diligently waiting for this to happen. And the first one popped up, didn't happen, didn't fit. And she didn't say, okay, I quit. She said, okay, I'm going to just wait patiently. Y'all, I was in my friend's car, new car. Amazing. How it levels up, levels down, how it talks to you. Like, she had to make sure her husband's text message didn't have some crazy stuff on it so I could hear. I said, that text message came through your car? Like, what? And then so excited literally, I was still talking about this girl's car. I came home telling my husband, he said, girl, you got a car. I know, but this car is amazing. But just so excited for her and proud of her. But Josh, she stayed the course. She stayed the course with that. Somebody who was looking for a job. I was talking to someone the other day about a job, and they had been applying for this job over and over and over again, and they were ready to throw in the towel. But they said, I just decided to apply one more time. She got the job. And although she had interviewed a few times before with the same people, they said it just wasn't time. But this was the perfect timing. You have every skill that you need. The organization is now prepared for you. The employees are now prepared for what you're going to bring. If you would have come into this department earlier, your first or second time applying, the employees weren't ready for you yet. But now they have been conditioned and they're encouraged. And now they can have someone such as a leader as yourself. Y'all, there's always many factors to things. There's always many factors to things. So don't just think, oh, I'm over. Nope, it's not working for me. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That's a lie. You have to say, my time's not yet. It's not yet. God revealed it to me, but the time is not yet. So I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to be patient. Be patient. Y'all, we got to eat patience. We have to practice patience. And I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard. It's hard. It is so hard. So I did a post on Instagram last night when I was just thinking about it. I said it took 15 books to become a best-selling author. 15 books. It's taken years to have engagement on social media. Years, y'all, years. It's taken years to do that. It's taken years to find my footing on what it is I want to do. And I've messed up sometimes. Y'all, stop beating yourself up because you messed up sometimes. Stop allowing people to remind you how you've messed up. Don't allow them to speak that into you. Silence the noise. Silence the naysayers. Shut them down. If y'all hear nothing else except for go register to vote, plan your vote. The other thing I want to really stress today is to stay the course. Stay the course. It is important to stay the course. All right, y'all. Again, I will have the announcement out today. Again, there's only so many spaces. And by the timestamp of the RSVP, when we get those in, and then, of course, I think it'll say, it will take you to a wait list or something like that, too. So we're setting all that up for the book signing, book conversation, May the 4th from 1 to 3. If you haven't bought a book yet, you can go to Amazon.com, or you can go to my website. It's going to point you to Amazon. You can go to my website, GailDudley.com, buy a book, y'all. I'm telling you, we're going to do some more things with the book as well. And then for those of you who have been asking me, I've had a lot of because that book is self-published. Now get this, y'all. Some traditional publishing houses now want me to join them. Why? I don't need you. Do you understand what just happened? But they wanted to come now because they see what's happening, the abundance that's happening behind this. And they're like, well, why would I sign my rights away to you now? I'm good. So it's all really exciting, but there's so many self-publishing authors who saw the post yesterday. They're like, hey, can you help me? I've been trying to help you. Isn't it amazing? It's not until you get somewhere that people believe you can do it. And it's like, this is going to look, now that I have this credential, it's going to cost you more now than when it would have when I didn't have the credential. Hello, somebody. Y'all, but why do we do that? Why do we wait until the red carpet comes out that we want to get on the bandwagon with something? Yeah, we got to do better as a people. All right, don't let me even go there. All right, y'all, I love y'all. Thank you. But you can go to Amazon.com to buy Inspire, a call to action. If you have not reviewed the book, please do it. If you can do it today, that will be great. Even if you did not purchase it on Amazon.com, you can still review it. They'll ask a question to figure out that you really have the book, but you can review it. We need those reviews, and it's free for you to do that. If you have not signed up for the Friday Rundown, do so. This presentation will be in the actual PDF will be in the Friday Rundown for you to have that as well. I think that's it. I see a comment. I'm working this on my own because Isaiah had to go. Julie Bryce said, I got my book. Yay, yay, yay. I love it. All right, y'all, we're out. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves.
Motion.